And welcome to the program on this finally Friday. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. It is 105 and temperatures outside are a soggy 49 degrees with a little rain-induced fog around the area. We'll be running down that forecast coming up here in just a bit. We got a fun show in store for you today. It's not a free-for-all, but it might turn into a free-for-all after we're done with it. Based on what we're going to be doing here, basically.
There's so many things here.
Some
okay,
fun stuff.
So we've got a guest in studio today. Art Weidner is joining us with North Dakota Sweet Crude. So we're going to get to that because who doesn't want to drink whiskey at work? Mm-hmm. Well, we do today.
Yep, and we're going to be drinking a lot of it. So I hope you get to enjoy listening to the show rolling downhill by 2 o'clock.
It's a tiny cooler. There's not that much. It's going to be all right.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, Art says the truck's outside. We're good to go.
Oh, let's see. It is a rainy day. Guess who forgot her raincoat, but did remember to bring our mascot Cooper in with me. So
Indeed.
Here we are. Everybody showed up for work today.
Man, hey, how about that wind yesterday?
No.
Let's talk about it.
That was horrendous.
I was driving down the interstate. Okay, my car gets... let's just round it to 30 miles per gallon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 30 miles an hour because that seems about right.
Yeah, no.
Close.
We were going
So
fast.
close.
We were doing like the wind speed yesterday, like 50. We were good. I only had a lot of cars passing me yesterday.
Instead of all the cars.
Guess my mileage on the way back to
Going
Grand
north.
Forks with a 50 mile per hour wind out of the south.
18.
No, out of the south. I had a tailwind.
Oh, you had the
so
tailwind
it was
out of the
pushing me.
south.
So I averaged 30
Oh,
on
that-
the interstate.
That's not a bad day.
Not bad at all.
Excellent.
No, that's what the car averages. What do you think it was with the wind pushing me all the way there?
So you're saying you're above average for a change?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go with 40.
For today, at least.
For 40.
44.
Ooh, giddy up, Chuck.
44
Nice
miles
work.
per gallon. It took less than 2 gallons of gas to get from here to Grand Forks yesterday.
My pickup burned that just idling in the parking lot.
Now on my way down, I was getting 20. So so it averages out again at
together.
about 30 miles.
Comes together.
It's something else, though. Yeah, it was gusting to 50 miles per hour.
Now,
Fields really took a beating on that, especially the ones that tilled up Central and Northern Valley. Northern Valley, I mean, it was like in spots, blizzard conditions, but
yeah.
dirt. Sorry,
Sarah. Yeah, we had some dirt in the air yesterday. I don't feel like it was a living material at that moment.
I mean, there might have been some living stuff on it.
There's always organisms.
Well,
Remember,
we got soil in the air. There you go, Sarah.
every tablespoon has organisms in it of soil, but nonetheless, it's not that folks are doing this on purpose, right? So we are seeing conditions that have been dry on the surface level. So when you have a 50 mile an hour wind, Justin, as you
Which
witnessed,
is almost every day up here now.
it's going to blow a lot of that material. And you've got ground that was dry beans last year or soybeans, doesn't have a lot of plant material to hold it in place like maybe a cornfield does. And we're planting, lots of planting going on. Very happy about that.
You planted your garden yet?
No, I haven't tilled it yet.
No.
Soon.
Have you picked up your plants yet?
No.
Because you buy saplings.
Some I buy some seedlings some
Seedlings.
starter plants that I want.
Saplings, trees.
But yeah, saplings of tree. But I haven't quite gotten to that yet. I will reveal my favorite greenhouse location after I go because I don't need the rest of you in there buying up all my stuff.
No, tell them after you've already picked through it all.
That's right.
You got to look out for yourself here because no one else is going to do it nowadays. So
exactly right.
my seedlings that I started, because I start mine by seed, my corn looks amazing.
Really?
It's like 9 inches tall already.
Impressive. Now,
Yeah.
remember that you just started the plant. You didn't plant the plant yet.
No, it's not planted. It's in a 4-inch pot, but it's really looking great.
Wind like that could be rather destructive on your little
Glad
seedlings.
it's not out there.
You could put a fan on it to toughen it up.
So that's
blow
what
it around a little.
that's what I'm going to do over these next 2 weeks. We're moving a fan into the seedling room.
You can. The
Yes.
seedling room. Oh, you've named new
Seedling
rooms.
room. It's the laundry room, but it's now the seedling room because my plants are in there.
You should know that our friend Sarah said, it's dirt, but yesterday made me cry. And for good reason.
Wait. Did
She's not
Sarah
wrong.
say it was dirt?
Only yesterday was going to
Only
qualify, it
yesterday
looks
was
like.
dirt.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I know at this point, Sarah's not feeling good about the situation.
Oh, man. So what is, to us, and when I say us, I'm referring to people in town not involved in farming. Blowing dirt, big deal. What does this mean for agriculture people? What are their thoughts on that? What does it really mean for their fields when you have all that dirt blown around? And as often as we've had it these last few springs, where for the most part, except for 2 years ago, it was, well, was it last year? I don't even know anymore.
Super
It was
muddy wet. So we're losing topsoil. We're blowing it off the fields. Thankfully, here in the Red River Valley, we have feet of topsoil because we are the bottom of a glacial lake.
For now.
But we've already lost quite a bit. As you see that wind erosion moving that soil around, you'll see it in the ditches. Mm-hmm. It clogs the ditches, which that's a problem for our drainage
our
when we
ditches
do
are deep
have
enough.
flood years. Not necessarily. Ask the guy who rolled down the ditch earlier this week. Remember, I had that story.
I bet you he's glad some of the soil blew in there. Then it would have been a little deeper.
It might have actually been a softer cushion for him.
Well, there we go.
But we also have had concerns in certain years where we have pre-emergent herbicides on, and those particles start to move. Do they have chemistry attached to them? And it lands in another field where you have a sensitive crop that could be damaged. So that's all real life scenarios that can happen as well.
There we go. I didn't even think about that.
So,
I suppose some people have probably sprayed a
chemistry. If you're trying to control kochia and you're doing your pre-emergence
Would that be a pre-emergent herbicide or even a fertilizer would be going on right now?
Fertilizer is going on right now. Fertilizer should be incorporated so you don't have that movement going on. Fertilizer, if you think about like urea, it's the little white prills. Mm-hmm. They look like the styrofoam balls out of a 1970s beanbag, like a beanbag chair. Those prills should be already incorporated. Right. Some of your pre-emergence herbicides you've planted, you put the herbicide on, you're waiting for the plant to come through that, and so they're just laying on the soil surface.
All right, well, let's hopefully ease some minds here for someone who may be freaking out about what they just heard, that there might have been chemicals flying through the sky.
It's so
for
minimal.
Someone who is going to put on a let's say,
tinfoil hat?
Well, I'm going to go in lines with the chemistry. If they're putting a herbicide on the field to get ahead of it, or a pre-emergent, if that's what they were doing now.
Right.
How long is that chemical going to be there before it breaks down?
Okay.
And I would imagine this would be 1, 2, maybe 3 days. That chemical's basically broken all the way down.
Nope. So let's do the math on this thing. So first of all, okay, wait. Oh, shoot. Sarah's trying to call me, but I accidentally gave her my number instead of the studio phone line.
701-293-9000, Sarah, or anyone else who wants to join in the program. That's the Red Wing Shoe line.
All right, so herbicide in the air. First of all, that's minute amount of particles. If you had a lot that landed on another field that piled up that it could affect a small amount of plants, that's possible, but it's not generally going to happen. When you put a herbicide pre-emergent on, it depends on the formulation and the active ingredient. For some of them, they can break down by sunlight, so they have to be incorporated into the soil with a tillage tool. Mm-hmm. Others can lay on the soil surface. When you get a rain, such as we're having, it's going to water that into the soil profile, so it's there to create that weed control barrier before the weeds start to emerge or as they're emerging, but won't affect your seedlings. So there's a variety of things that can happen. Just depends which chemistry
right.
that you have.
And I'm imagining if somebody knew that we were going to be getting windy, they probably wouldn't want to put that stuff down in the first place if they knew ahead of time.
If you were out in the field and you were trying to spray fertilizer this time of the year, with the winds up like that, the problem you would have is it affects your pattern. And your pattern means that what you're doing is you've got, what's coming out of the back of the booms off the fertilizer spreader, and it's supposed to create a pattern so that it's not necessarily overlapping, but lying next to each other so you don't leave skips in the field. When you have strong winds like that and you're moving at, a pace through the field, you're going to see a shift in that pattern and you're going to see it blow it around. So now you can have skips, you can have overlaps, all that kind of thing based on your equipment.
I see. Right on.
How much rain are we going to get?
A little bit. Most of us over these next 3 days will fall in
my rain gauge that I got that we're going to qualify people for?
Yes. I was actually just going to address that, but we should be getting somewhere in a half-inch to an inch range for most of us around. Let's just draw a line to be really simplified. If you go from southwest North Dakota corner to the northeast corner, everything south and east of there is going to be in a half-inch to inch range for the most part. Obviously, there's a gray area where that line lies. But north of that will be in that quarter-inch range, somewhere around there. Far northwestern corner of North Dakota, not getting anything out of this, so it'll be dry up there. But here in Fargo, we should round out about 3/4, maybe an inch of rain. Obviously, it depends on where those stronger showers align throughout this weekend, but there will be spots that get over an inch of rain. And as you go into South Dakota and Minnesota, they're in a 1 to 3 inch range, so they'll be getting some extra moisture down there where they need a little bit more than maybe we do as well. And I got a caller here on the line. Oh, is this Sarah?
It is.
How are you,
guys
Sarah?
Today? I am good. Can't complain, except I wish you could turn the fan down a little bit, Justin, so we don't have to have so much blowing soil out there
See,
like we did yesterday.
I called South Dakota. I told them to turn the windmills off, and they just laughed at me.
It's fun how that works.
They're being jerks down there, I'll tell you what.
They really are. Don't worry, South Dakota, I still love you. But, you hit on some really great talking points there, Bridgette, about all of the blowing soil. Yesterday was a really tough day. And it's so hard to see that topsoil blow away. And I didn't quite catch it if you had the chance to talk about how nutritious and what quality that topsoil is when it blows away. That is the soil that is extremely fertile. And when we think about how much money we spend, especially on like our phosphorus fertilizers, there's a lot of that's blowing away when we have those tough days.
Oh, that's a really good point. Just what we already have in the soil structure that gets lost on days like what we have. And Sarah, that's an awesome reminder. I just want to point out that we have our own soil science expert when Sarah calls us. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate that.
There's something new about soil all the time.
Yes, we do. And so we're going to learn a whole lot more as well as our day rolls on here. So Sarah, thank you for calling. And I know that one of these days she'll have this discussion with us more as we have her sit in for me from time to time when I'm not here. Mm-hmm. But additionally today, we are going to get ready to do our whiskey taste testing today with North Dakota Sweet Crude. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to doing that. We also have an update on our Here We Grow custom farming, our corn acres. Our corn did get spread with fertilizer already. It'll be planted soon. Our corn ground did. And so we're looking forward to catching people up on that. Our first video did come out and get posted last night.
Indeed it did. You can head over to YouTube where you can watch our live streams and you can check out the Here We Grow series. That's right there on YouTube or Facebook. Weather and Ag in Focus, the series title is Here We Grow. When we come back after the American Ag Network, we're getting drunk. We're looking forward to seeing you then.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus and the chaos that ensues when we have North Dakota Sweet Crude in studio with us today. Very much looking forward to this situation. As a couple of reminders to folks, I mentioned previously that our Here We Grow project first video posted. Go check that out. Looking forward to seeing people's reaction.
There's a lot of embedded humor in there.
Shopping the Dairyland seed catalog like it's a toy catalog.
Yes, indeed.
Very nice. And so thank you to some of our sponsors for that project. That would include Pivot Bio and Foltz Buildings. We greatly appreciate all the extra work that they do for us and for all of you out there. All right. So today with us is Art from North Dakota Sweet Crude. How are you, Art?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Yeah, glad to see you here.
Yeah.
So before I dive into all of these fabulous looking little cups in front of us, where shall we start? What's the story behind North Dakota Sweet Crude?
Well, it's a 100-year-old family recipe, a little bit more than 100 years now. And great-grandpa Martin Weidner was, he was, you got it? Yep. Oh, there we go. All right. You got to be really close.
You got to get close to these mics.
This microphone. Good gravy. So, Great-Grandpa Martin, he was making this stuff on his farm near Zapp, North Dakota, over 100 years ago when North Dakota was a dry state. I don't know if you know this, but it entered the Union in 1889 as a dry state.
Sounds boring.
Stayed dry for 45 years.
Rough.
So you have a bunch of Eastern European, German, Russian people
Drinkers.
living out in western North Dakota, and you're going to tell them they can't have a drink at the end of the day. I don't think that's going to sit very well.
Nope.
So everybody made their own.
Uh-huh. So do you think Red Wing Crocs were just for sauerkraut? I think not.
So this is our family recipe. I mean, there's a lot of them, red eye, wedding whiskey, apple pie, whatever you want to call it.
Oh.
Ours kind of just hung around for many generations. And my brother and I, we started making some batches, maybe about 5 gallons or so, and we'd bottle it up and we'd take it out west when we were hunting. And hey, thanks for letting us on your land. Here's a little bottle of our grandpa's hooch, and we call him up next year. And hey, could we come back out and hunt? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, you know that bottle you brought? Yeah, maybe like 6 this year.
Keep them coming. I want a monthly subscription here.
What
do you charge?
I don't know if you filled your tags with it after all of that, too.
Oh, we didn't have any trouble finding animals, that's for certain. Yeah. We got a few more hand gestures as to, well, you maybe want to go over there, Gee, I didn't know you had this extra section of land back here, Yeah.
No idea.
So what's the stuff taste like? I know we're going to get sampling this year. You brought us 2 different drinks, and I see there's a lot of different recipes you can make with North Dakota Sweet Crude. But as a whole, what's it taste like? What's it gonna, for someone who has never tasted it, wants to just kind of visualize that? What's the best way to do that?
Well, the original one, the North Dakota Sweet Crude, is just a really powerful cinnamon flavor up front, but it's made with an herbal tea blend. So behind the cinnamon, then you get all of the other flavors, the ginger, the lemongrass, a little bit of green tea and black tea in there.
Oh, gosh. Tea and cinnamon? These are some of my favorite things.
When I hear cinnamon, the first thing my mind goes to is Fireball. Is it going to be something similar to Fireball?
We just don't use the F word around here.
Yeah, I don't like saying the F word either.
FCC says the same thing to us.
Right.
YouTube, however, is they're completely fine with it, apparently.
Really? Because I got some things to say.
Well, let's cut the airwaves off then.
So people would compare it, but ours is not a whiskey.
Okay.
Ours technically is a liqueur. Like a schnapps is a type of liqueur.
It's not going to taste like antifreeze.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. Ours is not aged in any kind of a wood keg or anything like that. It doesn't see any time in it in wood. Ours also is made from a grain-neutral spirit, so made from corn. Mm-hmm. And you won't have those aftertastes of the tannins and things that come from the wood that you have in an aged spirit.
Right.
And it's just so much smoother than, people kind of balk at it a little bit, and they don't expect it to be as high proof as it is. And if you taste it straight, you're not going to be able to tell how high a proof it is. Even though it is 75 proof, it is not going to seem like that when you're drinking it.
75 proof? I mean, I'm going to the grocery store after this. This will be the most fun grocery store experience I have ever had.
It can sneak up on you if you aren't careful. That's
For
for
those
certain.
of you who see me skipping, pushing the cart, or maybe I'll be in the cart. Somebody else push me.
That's the cool thing. Our grocery store in Grand Forks actually has a bar inside of it.
Right.
I hate
I have
Awesome.
been there. Yeah.
They're making a killing. They sell so much food. I wonder why.
I hate to ask Art for a to-go cup, but
Well, I think you have them already. So
So you said it's made corn.
Mhm.
Where are you getting the corn from to do this? Is this North Dakota corn, or is it just regional corn, wherever you can kind of get it?
Well, so I have my product actually bottled down in Minneapolis.
Okay.
So when we first started doing this with Du Nord Craft Spirits, they were actually they were buying the corn direct off of their family farm in southern Minnesota. Now they've gotten to a point where they're a little bit larger operation, and they're not pulling it straight from the farm anymore, and they're just getting it on the open market. But it is, regional corn.
Justin has like 9 plants. He'd like to negotiate with you on the commercial break to see if you can get in on this deal with you.
Well, I mean, also part of the recipe is caramelized sugar, and so we've created our own machinery in order to do that precisely and consistently and continuously. So it's not a batch process. And the sugar, I actually have a sugar beet rotation on the family farm that we run north of Georgetown, Minnesota. And so the sugar is basically coming straight from our farm through the processing plant there at Hillsboro. And then I go pick up the sugar right off the loading dock, man. I buy it in 50-pound bags and bring it into the warehouse and caramelize it ourselves. So
That's one of the
Very
best
cool.
things about living where we live and the access to all of those types of ingredients. But also that gives a reminder that there's access for you as listeners who want to go and sample. So there's some upcoming dates. Those of you who have your calendars handy, write these down. May 9th will be Hornbacher's Liquor on Cheyenne and West Fargo. May 10th, Holly Liquors. May 11th, the Lakes Liquor in Detroit Lakes. And on the 18th, the Craft Beer Festival in Fergus Falls. So you have a kind of a busy next couple of months coming up.
yeah, well, I've got a couple of gals that do most of the retail stuff. I end up doing like the craft beer festival. I've gotten in with the people that produce those, and I end up being like one of. Sometimes I'm the only distillery there. Sometimes there's another one, but my lines in front of my booths are always the longest. And people come over and like, why are you here? Because my stuff is good.
Well, sure. I'm looking forward to trying this, and I'm kind of thinking, why don't we hit news a minute early, and when we come back, we'll start tasting these. We'll figure out what exactly it is that we're making, what we're drinking, and how you can be a part of it as well. And if you have any questions for Art or for us, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoe Line. That's 701-293-9000, or email to the program, weather or ag at flagfamily.com.
I'm going to have one question for Art. You said Grandpa was at Zap, so I'm going to need to know if he ever zipped to Zap, but we'll have to talk about that when we come back.
Well, the 50th. I was there for the 50th. Not for the first, because I wasn't even yet
Right.
for the first. Yes.
Well, we'll do a cheers to that when we return. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the program. 1:33 on this about to be free-for-all Friday. We got Art in studio with us from North Dakota Sweet Crude. Bridgette's here. We got Greg off to the right. Greg, welcome to the show. I don't think you've ever been on Weather and Ag and Focus before.
No, I've never been on Weather and Ag and Focus.
I hope you're enjoying it so far.
Oh, so far so good. I got a drink. I got a drink in front of me.
This is the best day we've ever had on the show. We have drinks. We have jokes.
Greg is
Dean's
one of our,
not here.
Greg's one of our salespeople, and he just showed up. He was like, "You guys got booze? What you got up there?"
All right, so we're drinking North Dakota Sweet Crude today.
Currently double fisting.
I'm double fisting. I've never had this before, but these drinks look amazing. I got like a orangish pink one, and I got a yellowish brown one. These are
It's his chef side.
Dakota
coming out.
Rita and the Crude Rita. Am I right, or is the second one I get messed up?
Crude margarita. Yeah.
Crude Margarita. So what's in these? Which one are we drinking first?
Well, I'll have you try the Dakota Rita first. Now, this is my solution to stopping the invasion, right? We get rid of the tequila.
There we go. Okay.
And we replace it with North Dakota Sweet Crude.
Okay.
So North Dakota Sweet Crude and your favorite margarita mix.
Cool. So we're just subbing out tequila for Sweet Crude.
That's the way we do it.
All right. Well, let's try this and see what we're drinking. I love the lime, by the way. Adding the lime in there.
Well, you always
Ooh.
have to garnish.
I taste the cinnamon
Mm-hmm.
right away.
That's actually really good.
It is really good.
Well, what? Duh.
The
What were you going to
cinnamon-
say? It wasn't?
Well, I mean, I could have if I didn't like it. I probably would have said I don't like it, but it's good.
It is
I've
very
never
good.
had the cinnamon with margarita before. That's a cool new little flavor combination.
So this is like straight margarita mix. We're not talking about like a strawberry margarita mix adding this in, or
No,
would it matter?
No.
Just like a sour
well,
margarita?
I haven't tried it with strawberry, but
Ooh.
it really mixes well with the citrus flavors.
Yes.
There's a Dakota lemonade mix that we have out there that Frank's Lounge came up with.
Ah.
If you look at the recipe page, you'll see that credit is given to all the people and places that have submitted those recipes, and it's great. I mean, everybody. I get a new recipe about every 2 weeks that people just send to me and say, "Hey, this is what we tried making with your stuff."
Where's
That
that
was really
recipe? What's that recipe website?
Crudespirits.com.
Crude Spirits.
Have you done anything with like a Moscow Mule with this yet? Or
The
anything like
Dakota
that?
Mule. That was
Dakota
one of
Mule.
the first drinks. That was Labby's up on the north end of Fargo
Oh,
here.
yes.
Yep.
Sure. All right. Yeah, this was really good. Mine's already gone. Bridget still got it.
Well, I might have
Sorry.
a little bit more in the tumbler
In the thermos over there?
Yep. Yeah, that was
You're going
really
to tell
good.
him about that?
We're a professional over here, Bridget. You hold your tongue.
Fine. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right, let me finish this so we can move on to the other one.
Yeah, we got a second one here. So while she's finishing that, why don't you tell us about the second one we have?
So the second one is a crude margarita, and this one's going back to the basics. You're not using a mix in this one. You're using lime juice straight up. And then you still use the tequila, but then the sweet crude orange is in there. It's kind of a top shelf margarita.
Okay.
Sweet crude orange is meant to replace like Grand Marnier or Cointreau, those higher brand labels that you see on the shelf.
Can you cook with it then in desserts like you would with a Grand Marnier?
You can.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, interesting. I used to do we used to use a couple different types of brandies when
Yep.
we used to make
Flambe.
stroganoffs.
Well,
Even
stroganoffs
entree.
too.
We would use a lot of alcohols in entrees that I used to at a couple of restaurants I used to work at back in the day. So I'd imagine do the same thing with this.
Absolutely. You said how much proof?
75 proof.
That'll do her.
You're slurring, Bridget.
Sorry. I am so glad Addison turned the camera off while I finished chugging that drink right there. So thank you for that. Oh, look, got a little warm cinnamon feeling right here. So glad you're using that sounder. Okay, so
we're gonna have fun with this in the last segment.
so here we are,
Yeah, she's
second drink.
cringing already.
Second drink.
You already know.
I
crude
know what you're gonna do
margarita.
to me.
This is going to be a little bit more sour
'Kay.
because I've used the straight lime juice in it.
Okay.
And then this has got the North Dakota Sweet Crude Orange and tequila.
So sweet crude orange and tequila.
Okay.
Oh, the messages I am getting from people who are watching this, you guys, they're truly enjoying our antics today.
Definitely a little sour, not too sour.
Now, I didn't add any sugar to it whatsoever.
That's what I was just going to say. If you sweeten that just a little bit,
Right.
That is a very dangerous on the pontoon type of afternoon situation.
This one right here is screaming summer.
Yeah, I don't want to give a lot of
heat, refreshing.
Yeah.
Now, the drink that I would suggest to you if you really want to change the way you summer is the Orange Crush. That sells a lot of Sweet Crude orange.
Well, what's in it? Because I'm all for great bad ideas. What do we got, Art?
It's Janae's favorite, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So the Orange Crush is any lemon lime soda, Sprite, Starry, 7-Up, whatever you want. Any lemon lime soda, the Sweet Crude orange, and just a splash of orange juice to muddy the water. And you get...
I like that term.
You get a drink that nobody will go and say, is this alcoholic? It is just really smooth drinking. Right. You mix up a pitcher of those, they're gone in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I think we should already take a few Fridays off and grab some.
I was just going to go down the hall and get a pitcher. Just come skipping right back down here.
I'd say the only thing making this better would be doing the show on the patio down there.
Oh, there you go.
Could it not rain if we're going out to do that?
You don't even.
Greg, can we
It's
book
a covered
that?
patio.
That's true.
Can we book that for the summer where we do another tasting out here? But
absolutely.
we're doing the show
coming in,
absolutely.
Art? I mean, are we?
Well, he's
got to
rotate between shows, so
I don't have any,
the others, Greg. God, you're no help over there.
I don't have any illusions that I'm being asked back because of my personality. I understand.
No, this has everything to
everybody
do with you.
likes to see the crude spirits guy.
Everything to do with you, Art.
Well, Justin, you were asking about the cinnamon and the orange. And one of the things that Art gets asked lots of times is, I'm not really a cinnamon person.
Right. Some people
that's
aren't.
kind of why you came up with the orange, wasn't it, Art?
Right. So we just found that these kind of tend to be the bookends of people's palate library. Is like, if they don't like cinnamon, they're probably going to like the orange. And if they don't like the orange, they're probably going to like the cinnamon.
If you put them together, you cover both those flavors.
You do. And the good people of Hereford, Texas came up with a drink
where
I've
been to Hereford.
They mix the two together.
Nice.
Andrea called me up and said, we really need you to come down and be a part of our celebration here in Hereford, Texas. And they mix the two together, half and half, and then they put a little dollop of whipped cream on top, and they call that a Hereford. And it's at every Hereford, Texas celebration that they have. It's their city drink.
Of course, it's Texas.
Your grandpa was in Zap and was proud of you. My grandpa pulled Herefords, and suddenly he is smiling down from heaven because I have a great idea.
I like both of them. I think I like the second one better, the crude margarita with the orange. North Dakota Sweet Crude orange.
Yeah,
a little
that's
better than
really
the cinnamon one.
meant to be really a replacement for a margarita. The Dakota Rita is just because it goes so well with the citrus that people came up with that drink.
Yeah, I mean they're both great for sure.
Yeah, and I would like the first one better.
I like the
margarita.
first one. The margarita one tastes like I should have another. That's I mean it's working with the. Oh, maybe that's a bad idea.
He's sitting over here. He's just like, more right here.
So I do like the cinnamon more, and like you said, also the citrus, the tea, all of those flavors behind there are really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So if someone wants to try this, or they want to try something new, because a lot of folks, you go to a liquor store, you pick up your classic, you get a case of it golden, you pick up your bottle of Bacardi or Tito's or whatever your go-to is. Someone wants to try something new, experiment, they got some event going on. Where could they go to or find North Dakota Sweet Crude or the other one?
The Sweet Crude orange?
Yes.
So they're pretty much at every liquor store in North Dakota.
Okay.
I mean, there's a few that we're not at, but very few and far between. And then I'm in eastern Minnesota. I'm down in the cities. I'm in eastern South Dakota. We are looking really hard at getting into Wisconsin. I was just at a conference a couple weeks ago and sampled to more than 200 different bar and restaurant owners.
Wow.
And every single one of them that tried it was asking, who is the distributor?
Nice.
And I had to say, I don't have one yet. So whoever it is you like working with, you tell the salesman, hey, I need these products. And I got a couple of distributors talking to me right now, and we'll see if we can get into Wisconsin in the next couple of months.
Wisconsin always thinks they beat us in the amount of liquor that can be consumed. So just tell them this is now a challenge. What you boys got over there? I'm all about selling this idea for you, Art. I'll help.
So it looks like here, obviously we were talking about this earlier, there's more than 60 different recipes that you can make with North Dakota Sweet Crude, and you can find them at crudespirits.com. And some of the ones that I see here are the North Dakota Peach Cobbler, the Crawford Crude Manhattan, the Sweet Lemonade, and the Pioneer Sunset. What are a couple of the other big go-to ones? We touched on the Orange Crush. We're drinking the Margarita. Is there any other like really big go-tos? Like everybody loves this one.
Oh, the Dakota Mule is very popular.
I can see that.
Yep. And in summer months, we'll switch over to sampling out the Orange Crush and the Dakota Mule. When we get into fall, then we start doing an apple cider with the North Dakota Sweet Crude.
That would be excellent.
Good time of year to do that.
The vanilla latte with the North Dakota Sweet Crude. That's a delicious drink. Hot chocolate with the North Dakota Sweet Crude. Very nice.
Think about that.
Into the holiday season, we call it a mimosa for the night, an Auburn Hussy. That is that is champagne and Sweet Crude Orange with a blackberry to garnish.
Yeah, my ears to perk up there a little bit.
Yeah. No. The Auburn Hussy.
There we go.
I can't imagine who came up with that idea.
Well, that was actually the second name because I did have to tone it down a little bit. This still is a family business.
I don't show, apparently.
Yeah. I don't take everybody's suggestion for a recipe. I do taste them all. So, and I have rejected a couple. But then the names, if they come in a little bit too risque, I have to change the names. I do have children at home. So.
This is a good point. There's so many inappropriate things in my head right now that I cannot share. Nonetheless, let's go back to the seasons you were talking about. Tailgating, you forgot that season.
Oh, it's a big one. This will keep you warm.
And also,
no
just
doubt.
anytime you're out at the fire, during the summer, in the evening when you're around the fire pit, the thing's 75 proof, right? So you're not going to transfer any bad bacteria between. So just pass the bottle around and have a swig. It's that kind of thing. You're out there with family and friends. Just enjoy it.
Well, it's for those of you who missed church. Welcome to communion. Pass the bottle. Have a little.
So in Minnesota, we're actually required. There's a law in Minnesota that you can only give less than a half-ounce samples. Well, I want to make it easy for my people that are doing the sampling, so I buy the actual little communion cups.
Oh, how cute.
For them to use because those are less than a half ounce.
Bless you, my son. Have a wafer.
Yep. So we spread the gospel every time we do the tasting. Here you go. Enjoy.
Well, you do because it's a North Dakota farm story, which I did want to ask. The hunters still call? Need you to bring a little hooch when you come on out?
I'm always required, yes, to bring. Again, I'm not under any auspices that they enjoy seeing me, right? That they enjoy seeing me show up with my stuff.
Okay, I just want to point out that Auburn Hussy has really fired off a lot of questions on my phone for messages from listeners. I am not responding to any of you until after this show.
Yeah, you can call in if you want, though. I don't know. You might be able to spark up a conversation. Who knows?
Sure they can. Good grief. All right, Art, where are you off to next? Again, do you want to recap where people can stop to find you?
So, so on May 9th, Hornbacher's Liquor on Cheyenne in West Fargo. Then May 10th, there's Holly Liquors. They're a big supporter. May 11th at Lakes Liquor in Detroit Lakes. And then on May 18th, I'll be at the Craft Beer Festival in Fergus Falls all afternoon.
Right on. Well,
and for those people that can't find it, you can go to crudespirits.com in Minnesota and North Dakota or South Dakota and order it.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, you can order it through the website.
You can. There's a link from my site to a retailer, online retailer, acespirits.com. They're actually out of the Minneapolis area. And they keep up on all the legalities of who they can ship to and who they can't, because it changes.
It does. Every state has very different liquor laws.
Don't even get me started there, okay? I mean, you work in North Dakota, and you're just blessed to work with the state of North Dakota. You try and work in some of these other states, and they're like, no, I'm sorry, we have to save our citizens from you.
The hell and damnation you bring with your Auburn hussy.
Exactly. So, yeah,
Goodness.
it's great being in North Dakota, not so great being in some of the other states.
I
Man.
see.
Okay, we still have to do some trivia of
I
some
don't
sort.
think we're going to be able to do trivia. We still got a third one of these to go down. We got to finish those thermoses
Yeah,
off.
there's still some in here.
Well, I think we can dispose of that for you there.
Is
Art.
anybody else coming into the studio? I mean,
Lock the door.
Doesn't look like it.
mean,
not unless
Addison,
Jay
I-
wants some.
Addison, our sound engineer, we figured out he's not even 21 yet, so we can't even help him. So we're on our own.
That's not true.
It's true until you show me your driver's license. After that, it's a whole different story. I can tell it my way. All right,
Just throwing stuff at the window. Again, for somebody who hasn't tried this, they don't know if maybe they even want to. Go to the website, check it out, crudespirits.com, do a little reading on it, look through some of the recipes. Oh, that one looks like it might be pretty good.
there's a locations page on there too. So
And then
if
go
you,
find
if you're-
out where you can get it.
Yeah, you can dial it right into wherever you want to buy.
Right on. Or just keep listening to us because we'll tell you how great it is. It's really great.
all afternoon. Okay.
All right, we'll take a quick moment here. When we come back, we got to check on the forecast. We got a few ag topics to try and sneak in here. I think we have trivia to do, and I think we have one other giveaway to do, and we have like 6 minutes to do it all. So lightning round coming up next. thought that was appropriate for the North Dakota Sweet Crude. Just tastes so good and make you want to cry.
That's exactly right.
I think I heard a Jay's sounder going. I don't know if I have the concentration to answer these phones, though.
No, I think we should probably just tell Addison that he should take a call, and let's make it caller number 8. Can you do that, Addison? He's on it. Because you and I are maybe having a little trouble focusing.
I still got a half a cup here, and there's a floating lime in there, and I'm loving it.
Can I tell people that's not your first cup?
Ooh, it's number 3.
Hear the clink of the ice?
Ooh.
There we are. Okay.
That one burnt a little bit. That was good. Good stuff right there.
Okay, what's next? You got something trivia-ish, or do you need me to talk
Well,
while
I
you find
got
that?
trivia, but I have like 79 lines lit up right now on the phones for someone trying to sneak in here for that. So we got to let these settle down for a minute.
Yeah, I am not.
Either that or hold it off till Monday.
Oh, hey, I just got another text message from our farmer, Trygve Skolnes, and our Here We Grow corn got planted
The corn's already
yesterday
up?
in the ground. It's not up yet.
I thought you said we were growing super corn.
Yes, but it was just yesterday, and you just finally rained on it right now.
Yes. So it'll be up soon, though, is what you're telling me.
We got to get some warmer weather, and I don't know that you have that in store for us.
No, not really. Basically 40s and 50s for the next 7 days. It's going to have on and off scattered showers today. The wind will be lightening up. We're in the upper 40s right now. That's where we're going to stay. A little rain-induced fog around the area. That'll be sticking around into tonight, on and off with those showers. Wind comes back tonight, gusting to 30. Scattered showers will exit the area by tomorrow morning. The rest of the day of Saturday, for the most part, it's going to be dry, but it is going to be blustery, upper 40s, low 50s, and same thing for a Sunday. A second round of showers come in throughout the afternoon, and those will exit on Monday morning.
It's going to be hard to have a North Dakota Sweet Crude lemonade on a Sunday afternoon if it's rainy.
Yeah, you have no idea how hard it was to read that forecast.
Wait, you read that? I thought you just made that up.
I mean, I read it off the top of my head, but saying it was a little more of a challenge than maybe days ago.
Nice. Oh, phone line's still going?
Hey, folks, stop calling. We have a winner.
We have a winner.
I'm trying to do trivia here, and I can't do it with my lines lit up.
Hey, that tax relief from Jay was brought to you by ATI Fargo and also Coast Materials. They want to offer you a lucrative opportunity. Go to coastmaterials.com. And getting qualified is very important because today, April 26th.
This was your last opportunity to get qualified.
During Weather and
Ag.
Who
was
was
our
our
winner?
Addison.
Lucky winner today was Doug S. So congrats on being the lucky caller today.
Cheers to you, Doug.
Cheers to you, Doug. Here we go.
Yeah, there
I
we
don't know if you can hear that, but I'm cheersing the microphone.
I heard your
and
ice
we'll
cubes.
take a moment of silence and pour one out for all the homies, too.
I don't think a moment of silence is a good idea. It's radio. Okay, do your trivia thingy. We got to roll here, dude.
I don't got time to do trivia.
Oh, never
We'll
mind.
have to hold it off till Monday.
Fine. So
Because we were,
drinking.
well, we're still drinking.
We will qualify more people then.
We
on Monday.
have 6 people qualified. We were going to get 2 people in today, so we'll qualify 2 more people on Monday, and then we will pick a winner of those 8 people to win that rain gauge. So if you were paying attention today to see if you won that rain gauge, I'm sorry. Booze got in the way, as it usually does.
You better write this down so we remember what we have to do next week.
Oh, we're not that far gone.
Okay. So
Just gonna send it.
thank you for not using all the sounders today.
I
Don't
didn't
you
even
touch
get a
that goat.
screaming goat
No.
in today.
No, we're good. We're
You're
fine.
so far away from the soundboard, and I'm right here next to it.
If
And we still got 30 seconds of funk before the rest of the
people
day
on
is
the
done.
live stream watch me completely belly dive across this desk to stop you from using those sounders. My mic is I can go that far. Don't you do it. See you all next week.